Nelson Mandela's daughter has accused the foreign media of behaving like vultures as they wait outside the hospital where he's being treated. Reports of the condition of the former South African president have fluctuated through the day. Makaziwe Mandela said it doesn't look good. But the current president, Jacob Zuma, who had cancelled an overseas trip after Mr. Mandela's condition deteriorated last night, said he seemed much better today. Well, our foreign affairs correspondent, Jonathan Miller, is in Pretoria. Jonathan.
Yes, well, Krishnan, it has been quite a day here in South Africa, which is a nation on tenterhooks. First, that news you said there from Jacob Zuma, the president, late last night, that he'd cancelled the scheduled visit to neighbouring Mozambique. And then we had a flurry of activity early this morning where members of the Mandela family were reportedly summoned to the hospital urgently. Now, word went round among the foreign media here outside the hospital that there would be an announcement on the state TV at 1 p.m. But instead of an announcement, what we got was Nelson Mandela's daughter, who said, "My father is alive. He's only just alive, but he's alive." And for many South Africans, that was a reason to celebrate.
The noise would have woken the dead, except Nelson Mandela is not dead, it turns out. The Youth League of his African National Congress jumped and chanted and eulogized their Madiba, the lion of a man this country adores. And they prayed he'd get better, and they danced, and they sang some more. Another day's reprieve from the news South Africa dreads. The bouquets kept coming all day. The cards and the paintings and love notes piled up on the hospital gates. Mid-morning, and some Mandela grandchildren pick up tributes. This is Nkileka, a granddaughter from his first marriage.
You know, it gives us encouragement and it gives us some support, so that is something that we're truly, truly grateful for.
Troops of tiny children wearing Tata or Father We Love You t-shirts joined the carnival. TV channels from across the world rolled on everything and talked live to their programs. President Jacob Zuma came and left. And then, finally, real news. State TV had an interview with a Mandela daughter.
He doesn't look good, Rio. I mean, I'm not going to lie. But I think that for us, as his children and grandchildren, we still have this hope because, you know, when we talk to him, he will flutter trying to open his eyes, and he'll open his eyes. When you touch him, he still responds. And I think for us, as his progeny, as long as Tata is still responding, when we talk to him, when we touch him, I think that gives us hope.
Then Makaziwe lashed out at what she called the foreign media frenzy at the hospital gates.
There's sort of a racist element with many of the foreign media, where they just cross boundaries. You have no idea what's happening at the hospital. They are standing right there in the aisle. You can't even enter hospital, or you can't even go out of the hospital because they are making themselves such a nuisance. It's like truly vultures waiting when a lion has devoured a buffalo, waiting there to, you know, for the last carcasses. That's the image that we have as a family.
She said the British media had never behaved like this with Margaret Thatcher, who incidentally once branded Nelson Mandela a terrorist. Makaziwe was also furious over reporting of the feud-ridden Mandela family. She is currently suing her father for control of his trust funds. This has offended the mood of a nation which idolizes Madiba. America's first black president arrives here on a state visit tomorrow. Today, in Senegal, he too paid tribute.
He's a personal hero, but I don't think I'm unique in that regard. I think he's a hero for the world. And if and when he passes from this place, one thing I think we'll all know is that his legacy is one that will linger on throughout the ages.
The Channel 4 vultures at the hospital gates found someone who summed it all up.
He fighted for freedom so black and white can live together.
Today has been Nelson Mandela's 20th day in hospital on this his 4th emergency admission since last December. He's on life support, but in his 95th year, he's still fighting.
So Nelson Mandela lives to fight another day, albeit a day at a time at the moment. And President Obama, whose trip had looked in jeopardy, is definitely now coming. He will not be visiting the hospital, but the South African presidency confirmed tonight that the trip would indeed be going ahead as planned.
Well, Jonathan, I have to put the accusation directly to you. I mean, Nelson Mandela's daughter is talking about racism from the British media gathered outside the hospital. You are British media gathered outside the hospital. What has the behaviour been out there?
Well, look, Krish, I mean, we're used to these big media jamborees, I suppose. And I suppose some of the journalists here would concede that there has indeed been some level of intrusion here. But, you know, this has gone on so long, and such is the stature of this totemic figure and the global interest in him that it's hardly surprising that sometimes some of these journalists might cross a line, might just be a little bit over-inquisitive. Now, I think also what lies at the heart of this is perhaps a clash between this great westernized media culture and the values of African culture. And, you know, these particularly surround sensitive matters around death. Now, perhaps some people here would say that not enough respect has been accorded the father of the nation as he lies dying.
Jonathan Miller, thank you.